I want to say a few things about what ontology actually is. And this is something I want to relate to idealism, if it's possible. I mean, a realist, a metaphysical realist would be able to actually do ontology better because he believes that there are actual existences and can actually group things with ontic to ontological. But and I actually want to talk about ontic, the actual idea of something being ontic, or talking about something as ontic. But I want to just talk about. In the past few, I did a couple videos before where I was just discussing that I'm skeptical of everything's factual existence. But there's a few ways where I can, feel more strongly convicted that some things do exist, that some things do exist outside of myself. And I think ontology is it's a branch of metaphysics where you are talking about the essence of being, or about what existence and being is. And mostly what you're doing here is it's more like a classification into hierarchies. It's mostly what ontology is. It's study of the nature of being, as it's a better way to put it than I would describe it. But you're talking about being here. Now, when I talk about being, I'm not specifically talking about factual being, like some philosophers will talk about ontological. They'll talk about, they'll separate an ontology from factual beings from what they know as factual beings into others. But as an idealist, you really can't do that because you don't think of things as factual beings. So I want to think about how an idealist would do ontology, if it's possible to even do this, or if my thoughts are even coherent right now. So I would because I think when we're talking about being here, when we're talking about anything, because I think in my consciousness there are beings. I feel that there are beings there, and I see phenomena or representations, and those to me are beings. So I want to think about things in my consciousness as things that if I'm seeing right now, I'm seeing this chords, I'm seeing this tie here, I'm seeing a lot of these things, I'm seeing this rental movie, I'm seeing all these things here, and they all can be representations. But the thing I know at the very least is that they are part of my consciousness. They are things I am seeing of my consciousness. That's the very least I know about them. But I think that there is a way to become more strongly convicted that things are phenomena or representations of things. So if I wanted to do ontology of a idealist ontology about what I'm seeing, I can go at the very least. I can list at the very least of the categories of what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to think about how a idealist like myself would classify into a hierarchy all the things that are being seen in consciousness. Now, at the very least, like I said, at the very least I know these are parts of my consciousness. I can verify these are the very lowest category of my ontology. I'm gonna plug my cord in here, if that's alright, because my camera's gonna die. Sorry. Wish I could edit this out, but I can't. So I don't have good editing software. Okay, never mind. Here we go. at the very least of this hierarchy, I can say that this cup is at the very lowest, where it's a being of my consciousness. At the very least I can say that, where I don't know whether it's a phenomena or a representation or something, or I don't know if it's actually an ontic existence or it's a factual existence. So I would say at the very least of these categories, you can say that. These are beings of my consciousness. Beings of my consciousness, that's the very least I can say. And, like I said in my skepticism videos or my idealism videos about where I was talking about going into and out of skepticism, there are ways where I can touch something, or where I can touch something and look at it and verify things like halfway verify things from one thing to another. So if I see this thing and I have all like 3, 4, or 5 senses that are all agreeing upon this existence, that are all telling me that I'm kind of holding and sensing the same thing, or the same phenomena, or whatever it is. I think this is a higher thing here, a higher category. I can say that this is this might possibly be. I think this is a higher category because I'm thinking this might possibly be a phenomena or representation of something, whatever it is, of something. Because I'm thinking that it is because all my senses are agreeing upon. I'm seeing the same thing here. And another way to get higher up in this category is if you have others and their own 5 senses verifying the same thing. If I have 5 people here with me who are seeing the same thing, and are agreeing about all the characteristics about it, if I have 5 people, it's up to 100 people who are agreeing upon the same thing, then I think I might actually have a possible category of things that might actually be a factual existence, or things that might possibly be ontic. But anyway, in all of these 3 categories here that I'm thinking about, there's still no verification of anything. But I'm just trying to categorize the beings of my consciousness, the beings of my ideas, because I think I really definitely want to try, and when I want to look at things, I want to try and think about everything that I'm seeing in my consciousness and try to classify them into beings, because they are beings. I can even if this cup in this movie might be a part of the same ideas, I think about them as a part. I think about this table. I think about this cup as apart from this table. I mean, I can separate them. So all of these things, all of these things I view are beings of my consciousness that are separate, that are what I view as separate from each other. And even though they might not be, the table, the movie, the cup might be all of my same ideas, I can use my other senses to kind of verify things, as well as I can use others to, intersubjectively verify, halfway verify, even though we might all be having illusions. We might all be having the same thing. We might all be visualizing similar things, or we might 500 other people might recognize this as a movie, but they might see something different in it that I don't see. It's very difficult. So I just wanted to say that my basic point here is that even though I am an idealist, you might be an idealist, you can still kind of create an ontological hierarchy of all the beings of your consciousness because you view them as beings, do you not? Even though you are if you are a idealist, even though you are a idealist, you still view these things as beings and not as just as phenomena or representations. If I'm drinking out of this cup, I don't think of it as a phenomena. I don't think of it as a specter or something like that. I don't think about it as that. I think about it as a cup that I'm touching. Even though I can talk about how I'm skeptical of its actual ontological and even ontic existence, I can still, when I'm using it and looking at it, I still think of it as a thing itself. This is coming from ideas of Heidegger, from ideas of Husserl, and this is just not really specifically stating any of their ideas or their writings right now, but I'm just kind of spitballing here about what I can do as an idealist about the ontology of the things that I'm seeing. So, if this is a crock of shit, then I'm sorry. Have a good day.